To the outside world, Mr. Donald had the perfect life. A well-paying job in Abuja, a stunning apartment, a beautiful wife named Helen, and two adorable daughters, Sandra and Tina. Their home was filled with laughter, love, and luxury. Every evening, Tina, just 6 years old, would dash into her father's arms the moment he walked through the door. "Daddy, tell me a story," she would giggle. And no matter how tired he was, Mr. Donald would sit with her, open a colorful book, and read as she clapped, laughed, and sometimes drifted off to sleep on his chest. He'd carry her to bed gently, kiss her forehead, and whisper, "Good night, my little princess." Behind their gate, life seemed magical. Birthday parties were grand, bouncing castles, clowns, and cakes tall enough to impress any guest. Helen's birthdays were like red carpet events. One year, Donald surprised her with a brand new red car. She screamed, jumped, and cried tears of joy. "You're the queen of this house," he whispered. "You deserve the world." And he meant it. Donald gave his family more than money, he gave them his heart, his time, his presence. But storms don't give warnings. One Monday morning, Donald was called into the office. He walked in with his usual confidence but came out pale. The company had been bought over. Restructuring. Downsizing. And just like that, he was out of a job. For the first few weeks, he smiled through the pain, assuring Helen that things would bounce back. But as weeks turned to months, bills piled up, and the house began to feel heavy with silence. Helen changed. Her smile disappeared. Her laughter became scarce. Soon, the woman he had once called his queen began to treat him like a burden. She complained about everything: no more salon visits, no more weekend getaways, no more shopping sprees. One rainy afternoon, Donald returned home to meet the house unusually quiet. His heart skipped. Tina ran to him, eyes swollen with tears. "Mummy left," she sniffled. She took Sandra and some bags. He stood frozen, keys still in hand. On the table, a folded note lay: "I can't do this anymore. I didn't sign up for struggle. I'm taking Sandra. I need to start over, without you." That night, Donald held Tina in his arms as she cried herself to sleep. He stared at the ceiling in the dark, his heart breaking into pieces. But in that moment of pain, he made a decision. He would rise, not for himself, but for the little girl who stayed behind. With no job and no money, he went from office to office, begging for anything. No one called back. Eventually, he began carrying blocks at a construction site. From tailored suits to dusty boots. From air-conditioned meetings to blistered hands. He would drop Tina off at a nearby public school, carry blocks all day, then pick her up and help with homework by candlelight. They had little, but in those hard days, they had each other. One day, after months of hustling, he helped an elderly man lift a pile of cement bags into a van. The man was impressed by his humility and strength. Curious, he asked questions. "Why are you here? You don't look like someone meant for this life." Donald smiled sadly and replied, "Life happened. But I'm not giving up." The man handed him a card. It turned out he was the CEO of a new construction firm. Donald was hired the following week, not as a laborer, but as a site supervisor. He rose quickly, thanks to his discipline and leadership. Within a year, he was managing multiple projects. His name started appearing in newspapers, credited for designing affordable housing across Abuja. He bought a modest home for himself and Tina. Life wasn't flashy anymore, but it was peaceful, and honest. Then, one Saturday morning, just as he was watering the flowers outside, a black SUV pulled up. Helen stepped out. She was dressed modestly, face pale, eyes unsure. Sandra followed closely behind her, now a teenager. Donald froze. "Donald. I'm sorry," she said, her voice shaking. "I made a mistake. Life out there wasn't what I thought. I've been watching you, how you turned your life around. Please, can we come back home? Tina peeked from the window. Her eyes met Sandra's. Silence. Donald looked at Helen for a long time, then down at his hands, once blistered, now firm with dignity. I built this peace with pain, he said slowly. And the only person who stood by me when I had nothing, was that little girl watching us right now. Helen's eyes filled with tears. So, what happens now? Donald sighed. I forgave you a long time ago. But we can't go back to what we used to be. Some bridges, once burned, can't carry the same weight again. He turned to Sandra and opened his arms. She ran to him, tears streaming down her face. Tina came out too, holding her daddy's hand. And in that moment, under the sun, with 2 daughters by his side and peace in his heart, Mr. Donald finally smiled again, not because life was perfect, but because he had learned that strength isn't in what you have, but in what you survive and become after the storm.
And that's the end of this inspiring story. If you enjoyed this tale and the valuable lesson it teaches, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we post more educative and entertaining content. Your likes, comments, and shares with your family and friends are greatly appreciated. Thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to sharing more stories with you in the future. Remain blessed.